Taoiseach, congratulations to you on your elevation and to your new front bench members, and I wish you all the best in your new roles. Taoiseach, we've heard many times over the past 2 weeks of the soul-searching and renewal that your party is presently engaged in. I wish every good luck to your new ministerial lineup. I say that sincerely, as their success in bringing new direction and management to their respective portfolios can, only one hopes, benefit our national population. I do want to remind you, Taoiseach, of some of the touchstones which you yourself have mentioned have been to the core of your party's values. The idea that your party is a party of enterprise, a party that runs a tight ship, that offers thrifty governance to produce a more flexible, competitive economy, an economy that can offer opportunity but which also recognises the value of work and the value of the worker. I'm not going to provide a dissertation here on whether I believe your party has, in these last 4 years, delivered on these ideals. But as you reshape your party and government, I encourage you to give concentrated effort to the following points I would make as an elected representative and as a tax-paying citizen of this republic. Firstly, value for money. Government has spent so much money to get so little value, unfortunately, and it is unrealistic now, Taoiseach, I would say, to foist another children's hospital type project on the country and the Irish people when the cost is unknown and it is vast. I am referring to Dublin Metro. At 4 billion, it is good value. At somewhere in the neighbourhood of 10 to 35 billion, it is insane. I would ask you to get control of capital spending, competitiveness and robustness in public spending. The public spending code is a complex recipe to allow the taxpayer to be mugged generally. We need to simplify it and make transparent the spending code objectives and delivery thresholds. I would ask you too to look at renewing competitiveness in our economy. Government has done little to nothing to make banking and insurance more competitive. Customers, banking and individuals have no choice at present. The margins and profits being earned in these sectors are now almost at supernormal levels. Reform of insurances banking has not travelled yet the distance it needs to, and failure to regulate or allow competition into the sector, into both of these sectors, is a significant issue. We have some of the highest costs, Taoiseach, and I'd ask you to take a look at this. I'd also ask you to look at the challenge that bureaucracy is taking on the quality of citizens' lives. Individually, every bit of regulation probably has some sense, but in aggregate, they produce abject misery. Think of getting an NCT, a driver's licence. These are painful experiences. Or try calling the RTB, or comparison shop for health insurance, or electricity rates, or getting an SEAI grant. Surely these things should not be as difficult as they are, but you need to have your wits about you to deal with our services. And I would say to you, Taoiseach, try building a house in Ireland presently. We have major issues developing within the planning code, and it is going to require a whole of governance, and I would say a whole of Dáil response. I would ask you just to consider these 4 implementations, Taoiseach. Pay policy, I've raised this a number of times, to allow ISME as a representative on the Labour Employer Economic Forum. The recent rounds of pay awards did not fully understand the effects on the small business viability. Introduce VAT 9, even if you have to profile it for some businesses and not give it to others. It needs to be done for the smaller food and service sector. I would ask you to consider developing a new SME government agency, similar to Enterprise Ireland and IDA. And again, as I said to you earlier, to provide agricultural supports for our farmers who are facing extreme fodder crisis.